Good afternoon, students. In continuation of fundamentals of organic chemistry, one more important topic: hydrocarbons. Okay, the carbon-hydrogen compounds we called as hydrocarbons. Okay, here we have so many hydrocarbons. Okay, saturated hydrocarbons, unsaturated hydrocarbons. And here aromatic hydrocarbons. We have 4 types of hydrocarbons in our syllabus. Okay, here I am taking first saturated hydrocarbon. Example for saturated hydrocarbons: alkanes. Okay, these are saturated hydrocarbons. Saturated hydrocarbons. What is the saturated hydrocarbons? The hydrocarbon which contain only one type of bonds. That means carbon-carbon sigma bonds. All these are the sigma bonds. Okay, the hydrocarbon which have only one type of bonds, those are simply considered as a saturated hydrocarbons. Okay, next example for saturated hydrocarbon is alkane. Next, alkene. What is the meaning of alkene? Okay, the compounds which are having double bond. The carbon-carbon double bond molecules we called as alkenes. And here carbon-carbon single bond molecules we called as alkanes. Okay, here alkynes. Carbon-carbon triple bond molecules we called as alkynes. The carbon-carbon molecule, the carbon-carbon triple bond molecules we called as alkynes. And aromatic hydrocarbons. Aromatic hydrocarbon. In the last video we saw about the aromaticity. That means benzene. Example for this, benzene and its compounds. Benzene and its compounds. Here I am telling one concept here: hybridization. Okay, next chemical bonding. Next we start chemical bonding in the okay, it will come. Just remember here. I will explain complete concept in continuation. For example, if any carbon attached with only single bonds, that carbon exhibit sp3 hybridization. You will see what is sp3. I will explain. That means alkanes mainly exhibit only sp3. In alkanes, carbon exhibit sp3 hybridization. Carbon-carbon double bond. That means this carbon attached to 1 by 1, this carbon attached to 1 by 1. So this carbon exhibit sp2 hybridization. That means in alkene it exhibits sp2 hybridization. Alkene carbon exhibit sp2 hybridization. Okay, in alkyne, here carbon attached to 2 pi bonds. In continuation we will see what are pi bonds, what are sigma bonds. This is sigma bond, this is called pi bond. We will see what is sigma, what is the sigma bond, and what is the pi bond. Pi bond, this we call pi bond. How these bonds are formed, we will see in continuation. Chemical bonding, the topic is not finished for next tomorrow we will start that one. Okay, here if it has 2 pi bonds, if carbon attached to 2 pi bonds, that exhibit sp hybridization, this is observed in alkynes. If carbon absorbs only sigma bonds, carbon has attached with only sigma bond, it exhibits sp3 hybridization. If carbon attached to 1 pi bond, it exhibits sp2 hybridization. Carbon attached with 2 pi bonds, it exhibits sp hybridization. sp hybridization. Okay, in single bond means only sigma bond. In double bond means Okay, in double bond, one is sigma, one is pi. In triple bond, one is sigma, 2 pi. 2 pi bonds. Okay, yes, this is about the introduction of hydrocarbons. In continuation, we'll see, okay, preparation, structure, IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes, alkenes, alkynes and aromatic hydrocarbons. That means benzene. Start with the alkenes here. First, I'm taking first compound, important compound, alkanes. Alkanes. What are alkanes? The carbon-carbon single bond molecules we called as alkanes. The carbon-carbon single bond molecules we called as alkanes. Okay. In carbon-carbon single bond molecules we called as alkenes. Here, carbon hybridization is sp3. Over here, these attached with only sigma bonds. Only sigma only, that means sigma bonds only. And here, carbon-carbon bond length. Here, carbon-carbon bond length is 1.54 angstroms. Here carbon-carbon bond length is 1.54 angstroms. Carbon-hydrogen bond length here 1.09 angstroms. 1.09 angstroms. Here carbon attached to 4 sigma bonds. That means sigma bond is strong bond, pi bond is weak bond. Carbon attached to 4 sigma bond, 4 strong means this carbon more stable. This carbon more stable, it never involves in chemical reaction under the normal conditions. So it involves in chemical reaction under the drastic conditions. That means these are simply considered as a low reactive molecules. Low reactive molecules. This is in Greek language. Low reactive molecules means paraffins. Okay, alkanes also called as paraffins, low reactive molecules. Just this is about the introduction of alkanes. And before seeing the one more principle is there. The principle of alkane is CnH2n plus 2. Here N is equal to number of carbon. It may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. What is the principle? CnH2n plus 2. Okay. Then continuation, we'll see the IUPAC nomenclature. It's an important nomenclature of alkanes. IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes. Okay, here N is equal to 1. N is equal to 1 means 1 substitute here. What you will get? CH4. What is this CH4? Here I am writing. Okay, number of carbon atoms. Atoms are hydrogen. Okay, next formula. Formula. IUPAC name. Okay, here I am writing molecules. To 10 I will write. It's very important. Here also writing structure. Okay. See, N is equal to 1. N is equal to 1 means formula CH4. Okay, 1 carbon is present means milk. Alkane. here we use ane. Here when you are writing the IUPAC name of alkane, okay, root word normal alkanes, root word plus primary suffix only. Here primary suffix only ane. Root word means number of carbon atoms. You add just number of carbon atoms along with ane. For example, structure of methane means it has only one carbon atom. So, the structure of methane. Next, if n is equal to 2, C2H6. 2 carbon atoms. If 2 is there, 2 carbon atoms present, we use eth. Already explained in the UPAC nomenclature. Eth, ane. Here I am writing ethane like this. This is called condensed structure. This is called complete structure. If you write like this also, this is called complete structure. This is condensed structure. But already I explained bond line structure, condensed structure, all those. Okay, last class. Okay, previous classes, watch videos. N is equal to 3 means C3H8. Okay, prop 3 carbon atoms means prop and ane, propane. CH3, I am writing condensed structure, CH2, CH3. Next, N is equal to 4 means C4H10. The name of this molecule is butane. For structure, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. That is the structure of butane. N is equal to 5, C5H12. Here pentane, CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. 5 carbons. Finishing 5 carbon atoms. Finished. That we called pentane. N is equal to 5. N is equal to 6. If n is equal to 6, n is equal to 7. N is equal to 6 means C6H14. N is equal to 7 means C7H16. Here hexane. Here heptane. Structure and writing CH3, C, CH2, hexane of 4, CH3. 4 carbons plus 2, 6. CH3. CH2 here 5 carbons, CH3. This is heptane. Okay, yes, this is the IUPAC name of alkanes. Next in continuation up to 10 I will explain. We will see up to 12:30. Okay, here n is equal to 8, n is equal to 9. Is equal to 10, is equal to 11, n is equal to 12. Formula n is equal to 8 means C8, H18. Here C19, H20. C10, H22. C11, H24. C12, H26. See, I use this name, the name of this one, 8 carbons are octane. Here 9 carbons are non-ane. Here 10 carbons decane. 11 carbons undecane. Undecane. Here 12 carbons dodecane. I use the name of this molecule. Octane means CH3, CH2, 6 times CH3. This is octane. Nonane CH3, CH2, 7 CH3. Decane CH3, CH2, 8 times CH3. Decane. CH3, CH2, 9 times CH3. CH3, CH2, 10 times CH3. This is about the structure, IUPAC name, formula, and number of carbon atoms. Number of carbon atoms. This is about the just IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes up to 12. Next, tridecane, tetradecane, pentadecane, hexadecane, okay, heptadecane, octadecane, nonadecane, and finally 20 carbons are present in that. We use ecois. We use the ecois. Okay, this is about the IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes. Alkanes are simply called as paraffins. Okay, alkanes are simply called as paraffins. Why simply called as paraffins? Low reactive molecules. Low reactive molecules. Okay, in continuation, okay, we'll see the isomerism in alkanes. In continuation, we'll see isomerism in alkanes. Already we know about the isomerism. What is isomerism? The compounds which are having same molecular formula but differing structure or spatial arrangement of groups or atoms we considered as a isomers, and the phenomenon we called as isomerism. Okay, next here. Especially alkanes mainly exhibit the joint isomerism. These mainly exhibit the chain isomerism. What is the chain isomerism? The compounds which are having same molecular formula but differing arrangement of carbon chain we called as chain isomers, and the phenomenon we called as chain isomerism. Okay, here just I will take different examples for this one. Molecular formula of compound is C4H10. Okay, here I am writing isomers. One is CH3, CH2, CH3. Here all carbon atoms are arranged in a straight chain. So this we called normal butane. And here I am writing in another way CH, CH3, CH3, Y shape. This one is Y shape. Already I explained this complete. Y shape. This is called isobutane. Okay. IUPAC name of this one is, give the numbering from this side. 1, 2, 3. 2-methyl propane. The IUPAC name of this molecule is 2-methyl propane. This is the molecular formula of butane and possible isomers of, okay, this one. Two isomers are possible for this one. One is normal butane and isobutane. Next I am taking one more example. Molecular formula of compound is C5H12. Okay, here three isomers are possible for this: CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. It is a normal pentane. By normal, all carbon atoms are arranged in a straight chain manner. We called a normal pentane. Here I am taking isopentane. CH2, CH3. This is we called isopentane. Why? It is in Y shape. And one more is there, possible structure for this: CH3, CH3, CH3. This is we called neopentane. butane. See all these, this one or this one, either this one or this one. See, both are having same molecular formula but differing. Okay, here see, but different arrangement of carbon atom, arrangement of carbon chain. See, here carbon atoms are straight chain, here carbon atoms are in different way. Here carbon atom straight chain in Y shape, here X shape. X shape na, sorry, plus shape. These are simply called as, okay, here chain isomers, and the phenomenon is called as chain isomerism. Alkanes mainly exhibit the chain isomerism. This is about the isomerism. Next, preparation of alkanes. Okay, it is important and explained in NEET level, JEE level. Okay, it is also used for the KSET. Preparation of alkanes. Okay, so many methods are there for the preparation of alkanes. Okay, one is methods for the preparation of alkanes. One is reduction of aldehydes, ketones. Reduction of aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acid and alcohols. Okay, this is the one method. Here, different method. One more is the reduction. It is also reduction of alkyl halides. Reduction of alkyl halides. Okay, here by the reduction of alkenes or alkynes. Reduction of alkenes or alkynes, we prepare here alkenes. Okay, next in continuation, by using decarboxylation, okay, we will prepare the alkanes. Okay, here by using Kolbe electrolysis method, Kolbe electrolysis method, here we will prepare alkanes. Here we will prepare the alkanes from carbides. We will prepare the alkane by electric arc method. By electric arc method, we prepare alkanes. Okay, by using Wurtz reaction or Frankland reaction or Ullmann reaction. Wurtz reaction, Frankland reaction, Ullmann reaction. Okay, next Corey-Haus reaction. By using Corey-Haus reaction. By using these all reactions, we will prepare the alkanes. Okay, one more is there from Grignard reagent. We will see what is the meaning of Grignard reagent. Okay, Grignard reagent. Okay. Next, in continuation, see the preparation of all these reactions. How many preparations? Nearly 10 preparation methods are there. What are those? Reduction of aldehydes, reduction of ketones, reduction of carboxylic acid, reduction of alcohols. Okay, reduction of alkyl halides, reduction of alkenes, alkynes, decarboxylation, coal-based electrolysis method from carbides by electric arc method, Wurtz reaction, Franklin reaction, Ullmann reaction, Korehouse reaction from Grignard reagent. First, okay, here I am explaining first one. Wait, just wait. Okay. Next. First, reduction of carboxylic acid and alcohols. Reduction of carboxylic acids or alcohols. Okay, here what is the carboxylic acid or C double bond OH or C double bond OH we call carboxylic acid. What is the reduction? Addition of hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen we called as reduction. Addition of hydrogen we called as reduction. Just add hydrogen in presence of red phosphorus hydroiodic acid at 250 degrees centigrade temperature. Forms, okay, it lose two oxygens, one oxygen, two oxygen and hydrogen ion. Forms here RCH3 we called alkane. R means alkyl group. R is nothing but alkyl group. Here R may be methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl, hexyl, like that. Here I am taking CH3, C double bond OH, acetic acid, addition with hydrogen. In the presence of these conditions, it lose two oxygens, 1, 2, and add hydrogen, we get CH3, CH3 is called ethane. Here we prepare the ethane from the carboxylic acid by using this method in the presence of red phosphorus and HI at 250 degrees centigrade temperature. Here I am taking alcohol RCH2OH. RCH2OH also called RCH2OH we called alcohols. This is reacts with hydrogen in the presence of red phosphorus HI at 250 degrees centigrade temperature. At 250 degrees centigrade temperature, it loses oxygen. Loss of oxygen also we considered as a reduction, and here we get RCH3. RCH3 we call as alkane. Okay, this is one alcohol. Here I am taking one simple alcohol CH3 CH2OH. Just add hydrogen in presence of red phosphorus HI 250 degrees centigrade temperature. It loses. Here we added hydrogen and removed oxygen. Here we remove only oxygen. Removal of oxygen is also called as just reduction. What happens here? CH3. We got here ethene. This is about the one method for the preparation of alkane. Okay, from the carboxylic acid and alcohols. And second one here only second one, reduction of aldehydes and ketones. Reduction of aldehydes and ketones. The aldehydes and ketones reduced by the addition of hydrogen in the presence of two reagents. One is Clemmensen reagent Clemmensen reagent, and second one is Wolff-Kirschner reagent. What is the Clemmensen reducing agent? Zinc mercury hydrochloric acid is called Clemmensen reagent. Okay, hydrazine N2H4 KOH, and sometimes we use glycol also. N2H4 plus KOH, glycol also. This reagent we called as Wolff-Kirschner reagent. In the presence of, in the presence of zinc mercury hydrochloric acid, the carbonyl compounds, means aldehydes and ketones, converts into alkanes. That is we called as Clemmensen reduction. If in the presence of hydrazine N2H4 we called as hydrazine, potassium hydroxide and glycol. If we do the reduction in the presence of this one, we called as Wolff-Kirschner reduction. By the Wolff-Kirschner reduction or by the Clemmensen reduction, aldehyde and ketones are converting into alkanes. Here in continuation, we will see the reaction. Here I am showing upside reaction. Here I am writing Clemmensen reduction. Clemmensen reduction. Here I am taking aldehyde or C double bond OH, we call as aldehyde. Just add hydrogen in the presence of zinc mercury hydrochloric acid. Just remove the oxygen, add the hydrogen, we'll get here alkene. Next you take one simple example, CH3 C double bond OH. This we called acetaldehyde. Add hydrogen in the presence of same reagent, we'll get here remove oxygen, add hydrogen, CH3, this is we called ethane. Here ethane was formed. This is called Clemmensen reduction. This is called Clemmensen reduction. Next in continuation, Wolff-Kirschner reduction. Wolff-Kirschner reduction. Already I gave the reagent for the Wolff-Kirschner reduction. Here I am taking ketones also. Here I am writing ketones. Ketone means R C double bond O R. It is called ketone. Here I am taking one specific ketone, CH3. Here add hydrogen, here also add hydrogen. This is we called acetone. Same reaction. In the presence of this reagent, remove oxygen, add hydrogen. C double bond O becomes, here C double bond O becomes CH2 or CH2R. It is also alkene. CH3, here CH2, CH3. This is we called propane. This is called Clemmensen reduction. In continuation, Wolff-Kirschner reduction means same. Wolff-Kirschner reduction means here remove the zinc mercury hydrochloric acid, write N2H4 plus KOH. Hydrazine and potassium hydroxide. Here forms all these come same reaction, but the reagent is changed. If you use zinc mercury hydrochloric acid, that we called Clemmensen reduction, If we use here hydrazine potassium hydroxide along with the glycol, we call as Wolff-Kishner reduction. By this Wolff-Kishner reduction, by this Clemmensen reduction, we prepare here alkanes. We will prepare here alkanes. Next, in continuation, from the alkyl halides, in continuation, second method, reduction of alkyl halides. Reduction of alkyl halides. What is the general formula of alkyl halide? RX. Here R is equal to alkyl group. Alkyl group, that means it may be methyl, it may be ethyl, or it may be propyl, like that. X may be here chlorine or bromine or iodine. We can't use the fluorine. Fluorine compounds are more reactive. That's why we can't use the fluorine compounds. Okay. RX reacts with 2 moles of nascent hydrogen. What is the meaning of nascent hydrogen? Newly generated hydrogen, we call as nascent hydrogen. Okay, in the presence of so many reactants are there, zinc, copper, couple, acetic. Here reagents are, different reagents are there. Lithium aluminium hydride acts as a reagent here. Sodium borohydride acts as a reagent here. Lithium borohydride acts as a reagent here. Zinc acetic acid acts as a reagent here. Zinc copper couple acetic acid also acts as a reagent here. Acts as a reagent. When alkyl halide reacts with 2 moles of nascent hydrogen in the presence of zinc copper acetic acid, what happens? One hydrogen reacts with X and forms HX plus RH. RH is nothing but it is also considered as a alkene. Next, here I am taking reaction CH3Cl. What CH3Cl we called, IUPAC name of this molecule is chloromethane or methyl chloride. First IUPAC name, common name. It is reacts with 2 moles of hydrogen in the presence of any reagent. You take any reagent. For example, here I am taking lithium aluminium hydride. What happens? One H reacts with Cl, releases HCl and forms CH3H. We call as CH3. CH3H means CH4, that is methane. That is methane. Here I am taking C2H5Cl. This is we called ethyl chloride or chloroethane. Reacts with 2 moles of hydrogen in presence of any reagent. Use any reagent. All are reducing acids. Okay, hydrogen Cl and forms C2H6. C2H6 may be written like this now. This is called ethane. We prepare methane, ethane or alkane, any alkane, not only methane, ethane. We prepare any alkane using this method, reduction of alkyl halides. This is the second method. Next, in continuation, we will see the reduction of alkenes or alkynes. Reduction of alkenes or alkynes. Third method. Alkene means carbon carbon double bond. Alkyne means carbon carbon triple bond compounds called as alkynes. Here I am taking general alkene or CH double bond CH2. This is called alkene. This is the alkene. Just add hydrogen in the presence of Raney nickel. Raney nickel, what happened? It involves an addition reaction. Two hydrogens are there, one hydrogen added here, one hydrogen added here. After that, double bond becomes single bond. Here, double bond becomes single bond. C or add hydrogen here, CH2. Add one more hydrogen here, CH3. This is also called alkene. This is also called alkene. What is the meaning of Raney nickel? Raney nickel. Nickel plus aluminium and sodium hydroxide. Just you take the nickel, aluminium, heat and melt. Okay, after that add some amount of sodium hydroxide. We called Raney nickel. This is the black color material. This is the highly reactive reducing agent. And this reaction is called Sabitter-Sanderson reduction. Sabitter-Sanderson reduction. This reaction we call as Sabitter-Sanderson reduction. This is also called, here we add the hydrogen in presence of catalyst. That's why we called catalytic hydrogenation. Catalytic hydrogenation. We called catalytic hydrogenation. Okay. Next, you take one specific example. CH2 double bond CH2. We called ethene. Add hydrogen in the presence of Raney nickel. Here add one hydrogen, here add one hydrogen, remove double bond. That means keep only single bond. This is ethane. From alkynes. Alkynes means RC triple bond CH. This is called alkyne. Or CH triple bond CH. This is called ethane. See here, for the removing of one double bond here, we add one hydrogen. Here two double bonds are there now. You add two hydrogens in presence of same reagent. We'll get here add two hydrogens, here add two hydrogens or CH2, CH3. Here CH3, CH3. This is we called as Sabitter-Sanderson reduction. Sabitter-Sanderson reduction. Next in continuation. Okay, one more reaction is first one. That is decarboxylation. D means remove. D means remove. Carboxylation means carbon dioxide. Removal of carbon dioxide is called as decarboxylation. Removal of carbon dioxide called as decarboxylation. And this decarboxylation reaction also called Duma reaction. Decarboxylation reaction also called as Duma reaction. See, the decarboxylation of carboxylic acid in the presence of soda lime, sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide mixture. This mixture we called as soda lime. soda lime. In presence of soda lime, it loses carbon dioxide molecule. The removal of carbon dioxide molecule we called as decarboxylation and forms RH alkane. Here I am taking acetic acid, add soda lime. Here you take, this is acetic acid, you take propanoic acid, add soda lime. It loses CO2, it also loses CO2. Loss of CO2, removal of CO2 we called as decarboxylation. Here we get methane, here also we get ethane. In this we lose one carbon atom. In this we lose one carbon atom. That means if we take 2 carbon atom acid, we get only 1 carbon alkene. If we take 3 carbon acid means we get 2 carbon alkane. This is we call as decarboxylation. And then in conclusion, one is the coal-based electrolysis. Coal-based electrolysis. Okay, see coal-based electrolysis. You take the sodium acetate, CH3COO-Na, we called sodium acetate. CH3COO-Na, we called sodium acetate. Just add water and pause the electricity and done the electrolysis process. What happens here? This hydrogen releases sodium and OH, sodium and OH. These two, carbon dioxide, and this will make a bond. We'll get here CH3 here, CH3 here. This is called ethane. Plus 2 moles of CO2. These two form at anode. These two formed at anode. Okay, the coal-based electrolysis of sodium acetate gives ethane at anode. Along with that, hydrogen gas evolves here. Plus 2 moles of sodium hydroxide. These two formed at cathode. This is we called as decarboxylation and coal-based electrolysis. These two are the important reactions, coal-based electrolysis and here decarboxylation. Next in continuation, we'll see some carbides. How alkanes are formed from the carbides, especially methane only prepared, especially only methane prepared by using this carbide. What is the number 6 from carbides? Carbides. Here I am taking aluminium carbide Al4C3 or beryllium carbide Be4C2. Both are reacts with water. Here take 3 moles. Here we'll get here aluminium hydroxide. Here we'll get beryllium hydroxide. Here forms methane, 3 moles of methane. Here also forms 2 moles of methane. Only methane was formed here. That's why these two carbides are simply considered as methanides. These two carbides simply considered as methanides. this is the preparation of methane from the carbides. The hydrolysis of aluminum carbide or beryllium carbide forms methane. This is the reaction from the carbides. Next, by electric arc method. By electric arc method, you take carbon, heat up to red color, that means we call it red hot carbon, okay, and pass the 2 moles of hydrogen, pass the hydrogen gas. Here we get methane. Depending upon the reactivity of carbon, depending upon the reactivity of hydrogen, and amount of the carbon and amount of the hydrogen, will get here methane or ethane or any other products, different products. Okay, this is the electric arc method. Just to take carbon, coke or coal tar, any allotropic form of carbon, heat up to red hot and pass hydrogen gas, okay, we'll get here methane. So it is called electric arc method. Next in continuation, Wood's reaction. This is an important reaction. By Wood's reaction also we prepare the alkanes. Here we prepare the higher alkanes. That means reactant has 1 carbon, product has 2 carbons. And by using this method, we prepare symmetrical or unsymmetrical alkynes were prepared. Symmetrical, unsymmetrical. Symmetrical means 2 carbon atom containing alkane or 3 carbon atom containing 4 carbon atom containing 6 carbon atom containing alkanes, we call it as symmetrical. Unsymmetrical means 3 carbon, 5 carbon. Symmetrical means cleavage of carbon molecule into 2 equal halves, we call it as symmetrical. If not cleavage into 2 equal halves, we call it unsymmetrical. Okay, we call it unsymmetrical. First, I am taking general formula. In Wood's reaction, alkanes prepared from alkyl halides. Alkyl halides. Here I am taking alkyl halide. RX is nothing but alkyl halide. 1 mole alkyl halide reacts with sodium metal. Here 1 mole alkyl halide. In the presence of dry ether. In the presence of dry ether, what happens here? It loses 2 moles of NaX, forms RR, means alkane. Okay. Next, here this is alkyl halide. Instead of alkyl halide, here I am taking methyl chloride. Methyl chloride reacts with 2 moles of sodium. Methyl chloride reacts with 2 moles of sodium in the presence of dry ether. It loses NaCl like this. We will get here CH3, ethane. We will prepare, by using this method, we will prepare butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, propane also we will prepare here. How we will prepare the propane? This is the symmetrical alkene. Ethane is symmetrical alkene. How we will prepare the unsymmetrical alkene? See. By using this Wood's reaction. See, this is the symmetrical alkene. Cleavage into 2 equal halves, so we call it symmetrical alkene. Here I am taking methyl chloride, 2 moles of sodium, ethyl chloride. ethyl chloride. In the presence of dry ether, loses 2 moles of sodium chloride and forms CH3, CH2, CH3. Propane. This is we called as unsymmetrical alkane. This is we called as unsymmetrical alkane. By using this method, we prepare symmetrical alkane and unsymmetrical alkane. This is the Bucci reaction. Next, in continuation, Franklin reaction. See the Franklin reaction. Franklin reaction. What is the Franklin reaction? Same method. Just I am giving only simple one. 2 moles of alkyl chloride. Take 2 moles of alkyl chloride. In the presence of dry ether, see it loses zinc chloride and forms alkane. This is we called Franklin reaction. Next, here I am taking one example: CH3Cl, zinc, CH3Cl in presence of dry ether forms here CH3 plus ZnCl2. This is we called ethene. Okay. Next, one more reaction, Ullmann reaction. Here I am taking Ullmann reaction. Okay, in Ullmann reaction, here we use same reaction, alkyl halide reacts with 2 moles of copper. In the presence of same dry ether, it loses Cu2Cl2 plus RR. Cuprous chloride, it is alkene. Okay, in Bucci reaction we use sodium metal. In Franklin reaction we use zinc metal. In Ullmann reaction we use copper metal. Here I am taking methyl chloride. Cu2Cl2 and forms ethane. Okay, this is we called as Ullmann reaction. Okay, Ullmann reaction finished. Okay, these are the named reactions. These are the named reactions are very important. How many named reactions are there here? 3 actually. One more is there from Corey-House reaction and from Grignard reagent. We will see. Okay, next continuation, Corey-House reaction. Okay, Corey-House reaction. Corey-House reaction means, okay, first you take the alkyl halide, reacts with 2 moles of lithium in presence of ether, forms LiX plus RLi. Okay, this RLi reacts with 2 moles of RLi reacts with cuprous iodide. Here we will get lithium dialkyl copper. Lithium dialkyl copper we called as Corey-House reagent. remaining here, what we have remaining? Lithium is there. Okay, lithium is there, iodine is there. Lithium iodide was formed on lithium alkali. This Corey-House reagent reacts with any alkyl halide RX. One of the R reacts with this R. That means we get here R dash, we call alkane. Along with this R, X alkyl halide, and here we get copper plus lithium. Or this is also written like this: alkyl lithium, copper, alkyl lithium and copper halide. This is called Corey-House reaction. In specific, I am taking CH3Cl reacts with 2 moles of lithium in presence of ether, LiCl, and here CH3 Li was formed. Methyl lithium, CH3 Li we called methyl lithium. This methyl lithium reacts with 2 moles of methyl lithium reacts with cuprous iodide. That means Li CH3 taken twice, Cu plus Li lithium iodide. This lithium dialkyl cuprate reacts with ethyl chloride, for example. Different RX and R-X. So here I took ethyl chloride. Ethyl, methyl. CH3, CH2, CH3 forms propane, and here methyl lithium and copper chloride. Cuprous chloride was formed. This we called Corey-House reaction. Next in continuation, from Grignard reagent. From Grignard reagent. What is the Grignard reagent? Alkyl magnesium halide. Okay, alkyl magnesium halide. Here I am writing CH3 MgCl, methyl magnesium chloride, called as Grignard reagent. Just to add water, okay, here carbon more electronegative than magnesium. Here also carbon more electronegative than magnesium. Carbon gets negative charge. Here carbon gets negative charge. Magnesium gets positive charge. Magnesium gets positive charge. In water, dissociates into just water, dissociates into H plus OH minus. This H reacts with R minus, forms alkane. Next here also forms methane along with magnesium chlorohydroxide. Here also magnesium chlorohydroxide was formed. By using these methods, prepare the alkanes. These are the complete methods for the preparation of alkanes. Okay, this is the one lengthy video. Please watch. Thank you.